Well, happy Saturday afternoon. Welcome to the first episode of Kid Cthulhu. So as a little bit of a background, this adventure, The Dare, which is what we're going to be basing this off of, I believe it originally started off as a Kickstarter, and it uses a system that Chaosium put out, or I think for the previous edition, for 6th edition, called Kid Cthulhu, which is a way to play Call of Cthulhu with kids. And that's what we're going to do. Each of my players today are playing 11-year-olds. We're going to meet them each individually. But many of them you have seen before, but we do have one new player to this stream. So Kevin, welcome to the third floor.
Thank you. It's good to be
here.
All
right, let's get started. Where we begin is 1984. And we're going to start off in a very small New England town called Sherborne, which is just outside of Boston by about 20 miles or so. It's a rich suburb of Boston. And it's not only 1984, but it's also October 31st. It is Halloween night. It's about 10:30 at night. And instead of being in the rich neighborhood or the well-to-do middle-class neighborhoods of Sherborne, we're actually on the outskirts of town. So instead of the really nice 1 and 2 level homes where each of our players lives and is growing up, we are in kind of the dilapidated part of town. Here in the outskirts, we see a lot of abandoned homes. We see some homes that even have their windows boarded up. There are some people that live here, but the streets aren't kept nearly as clean as they are in Sherborne, and it's chilly out. It's a New England Halloween evening. We can smell burning leaves in the air. We can feel the chill. It's dark. Not all the street lights are working. And where we begin is in front of a very large Victorian style home. One that just by looking at it, you can tell has been abandoned for a very, very long time. And out in front of a wrought iron gate that is rusted, that's connected to the fence that surrounds this home, we see an 11-year-old girl standing there. And Maeve, is Shirley wearing her costume still from trick-or-treating earlier today?
Oh yeah, she's super proud of it.
And what is she wearing?
Of course, she's wearing her Girl Scout outfit, but she's decided that today is going to be Zombie Girl Scout. So she has done this very elaborate zombie makeup that honestly looks pretty good. So she's very, very excited about it.
So Shirley is out here and she is succumbing to a dare. And a person named Roger Simmons, a kid who's technically in 6th grade, but doesn't look 11 years old. Roger Simmons is well known as the bully of the class here in Sherborne Middle School. And he has dared Shirley, as well as several other kids, to come to the Barnaker house and to spend the night there. Now, what did Roger do to get Shirley out here tonight to spend the night in what could be what many call a haunted house?
So Shirley tries to wear her uniform like maybe 2. She's actually compromised with her mom, and we're down to 2 days a week that she wears her uniform to school. And of course she has her merit badge stash and everything. And Roger, that jerk, pointed out that she does not have a bravery merit badge yet. It's one of the like 5 she doesn't have. And how dare he? So she's gonna show him, because she can do anything.
So you're the first to arrive, which is not a surprise, right? Shirley's always on time. But we then see another person walk up, another kid walk up. And Kevin, can you describe Charles as he's walking up to meet Shirley?
Yeah, Charles is he's relatively new to the town, and a lot of people think he's kind of a weirdo. Um, he likes to sit in the corner with his iPod or with his iPod. Broke the time already. With his Walkman and, listening to mixtapes. And he always is scribbling in a journal and reading spooky stories, things about ghosts and things like that. And, so most kids try to steer clear of him.
And is he still in his costume?
He is. He's dressed as Indiana Jones. He has the big hat and the leather jacket with the pouch coming across the front. Um, he has his little whip and a toy plastic gun. He was kind of disappointed because he kind of wanted to go as Jack Torrance from The Shining, but his father thought that was a little too dark. Um, so he went as Indiana Jones instead.
And we know Roger Simmons is a bully, and I'm sure Rogers has been giving Charles a hard time ever
Yeah.
since Charles moved in. And I think, Charles, one of the things that you and everybody else knows is, yes, Roger's obviously an older kid, right? Obviously has been held back a few years, is almost trying desperately to even grow a mustache, which would make him the only kid with a mustache in the 6th grade. But we also know how afraid of his big brother everybody is as well. So he has a bigger brother, Ace, who is in high school. And for those that could physically handle Roger, they still take his bullying because very often Roger will say, "My brother, Ace, is going to kick your ass." So, how did Charles get talked into succumbing to this dare?
Well, Roger stole my notebook, and it was a very private notebook, and it has things in there I don't want anyone else to read. And I got up to go to the bathroom, and I don't know why I left it there. I always take it wherever I go, but I left it, and he took it, and he's been making fun of me about it. I'm just terrified he's going to read it to somebody at the school.
Excellent. So soon after Charles arrives, we also see Miss Julia Thurston arrive. And Julia is one of, if not the most popular kid in school. And I guess the first question as Julia walks up to the house is she still in costume?
Oh, of course.
And what is her costume? What did she go as today?
So she decided to keep it classic this year. Just simply a princess, which her father would say that she always are. So she was like, why not this year actually be a princess? So she has on her crown, her little scepter, a little pink poofy dress, as she's walking up. Like
And,
in,
and so how did Roger get the most popular kid in school to come out here at 10:30 at night to spend the night in the Barnaker house?
you know what? Roger thinks he's this giant bully. And for some reason, he told me I wasn't invited here and that I would be too scared. But there is nothing Julia is not invited to. So she told him, I am coming there because this is all stupid. And she managed to sneak out of the house. So hopefully her parents don't find out.
And that's actually a really good point. Before we talk and meet Paul, I do need to ask Shirley. Shirley, do your parents know where you are?
Absolutely not. Are you kidding? They would be very upset. They think that I am out back camping, and I've told them that it's very important when I am trying to really focus in on night birds not to interrupt because they'll scare them away. So they won't look until the morning.
And how about Charles? Does your parents know where you are?
No, my dad was working tonight. He thought I was going to spend the night at Greg's, but Greg was being kind of a jerk, so I just took off.
All right. So the last person to walk up is Paul. So DZ, as Paul walks up, the first question we need to know is Paul wearing his Halloween costume?
Yes, he's dressed as Renee Belloc, Indiana Jones's rival from the original movie.
Excellent. And how is Paul known in school?
He's a bit of a jokester. He likes he more than anything wants people to think of him as being clever and sly. So he's always trying to one up his pranks on his fellow classmates. But usually they're in good spirits. Generally, they're not things that like leave people humiliated, or it's not like Roger like just being a bully. It's surprises.
So you've succumbed to Roger's dare. What happened?
Mhm. Well, Paul considers his muses for his pranking adventures his older cousins, who, when Paul got old enough, they gave him a Zippo lighter that is very, very dear to him, and Roger got his dirty hands on it. So the only way that he's going to give it back is if I spend the night in this stupid house.
So I don't know if the four of you expected Roger to be here. He told you at 10:30 to meet in front of the Barnaker house. He is not there, but the four of you are.
Oh,
Where's Roger?
I've been here for almost 25 minutes and I haven't seen him yet. So
I haven't seen him either. I think Charles is just kind of hanging back a little bit because he's kind of intimidated by the rest of you guys.
well, I guess it's better than being here alone.
yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, I was just looking, there's like a colony of bats that live in like the chimney right across the street. So it's been at least entertaining.
Ooh,
Where? I want to see.
And she points across the street. It's a little dark for them now, but they were coming in and out about dusk.
Should have been on phone.
So you hear a rustling. And the Barnaker house inside is overgrown, and also outside. You can tell that at some point they had, when this house was taken care of, it had a nice kind of topiary bushes around the very front of it, but it's all been overgrown. And you know what? I think he was trying to scare the hell out of each of you, but he made so much noise as he was jumping out. You all saw it a million miles away. So we see Roger coming out. Now, he's not wearing a Halloween costume. He's wearing a t-shirt with kind of a ratty old hoodie on top of it. And, you know, for each of you, Roger's a jerk. And he's been a jerk to everybody in school. He's been a jerk to the four of you. But I think some of you have the emotional intelligence to also know Roger is obviously coming from a rough home. There's a few telltale things. He wears a lot of the same clothes. You can tell that sometimes his clothes don't smell as fresh and as new as, say, Julia's clothes do each day. And even though at 11 you don't probably fully understand what's happening, I think as adults we know what's happening with Roger. So he stands there and goes, boom! Where's the rest of you? Only four of you? Where's the rest of the kids?
We don't even know how many you
I don't
invited.
know.
Everybody was still on Main Street when I left.
Bunch of chickens. So are you four ready to go into the Barnacle house?
Yes.
Yeah.
This
Sure.
is all right. It doesn't look that scary.
Right? It's
I'm
like
not
an old
afraid.
house.
So you know the rules. We go inside the house. Nobody can leave until the sun comes up tomorrow. And then I'll give you all your stupid stuff back, and I'll tell everybody that you're super brave so you can get your stupid patch, and I'll give you back your stupid lighter and your stupid notebook. And, you know, Julia, you can tell everybody that you did it, you know, whatever stupid stuff you chickens want. And as he's saying that, he goes over to this rusted gate that's part of the fencing that surrounds it, and he undoes the latch and he pushes it, and you can hear just the rust and the creaking as this gate opens up, and really gives you your first view of the Barnaker house. There's a path that leads through a very large front yard. And it leads you all the way up to the front of this Victorian home where you can see a large double door, front door in that Victorian style with a sitting porch. But all of this is years and decades in decay. So you can already tell that like, the concrete steps that lead up to the house themselves are cracked, and you see parts of the steps have broken off, and the paneling or the wood that forms the front porch is warped, and you can see some of the boards have come off and some are missing as well. All of the windows are shuttered closed with the shutters, so you can't see inside the house from where you are, and the yard is completely overgrown. So nothing is less than knee high as far as the grass, and you can see the grass that is still growing among the weeds there is already seeded. The seeds of the grass are up on top, and the wind is cold, the kind of cold that kind of touches your bones a little bit. And what little light you were getting was coming from the moon. But as Roger swings that door open, we start to see the clouds coming in. And Shirley, you definitely can tell when there's a barometric change. And you definitely know, Shirley, what that means. It means rain, and rain's coming soon. Come on, chickens, get inside.
We have lights.
Did anybody bring flashlights?
Well,
I did.
No, I got my watch in my jacket.
Yeah, if I'd have brought a flashlight, it would have given up the game.
Right. Listen, you dorks.
Well,
go ahead.
I mean, I always have a flashlight, but if it's against the rules, I'll leave it in my bag.
No, you could there's no rules about flashlights. If you brought a flashlight, let's use it so we can get there faster.
Is this, Roger, have you been in this house? Is this safe?
No, never been here. Nope. This will be my first time.
Has your brother been here?
I don't keep track of my brother. Why are you bringing my brother up?
Because I don't like him.
Well, you know what? I don't like him either.
I think we should
come
be
on,
fine.
dorks. Are we going in or what?
Yeah, I think we should be fine. Like the worst we can get is like splinters. Look at all that old wood. We should be all right.
Tetanus?
I know how to pull out splinters. That should be fine.
Okay, all right.
I'm worried about tetanus, but let's go.
So we see the four of you kind of go through the front gate, right? And Roger is going to make sure that each one of you go ahead of him. And if you look back and catch a glimpse of Roger before he closes the gate, you can see him stop and kind of looking around like he's waiting for somebody or waiting for more people to arrive, maybe, as he mentioned earlier. And then he just kind of shakes his head and he pulls the gate closed and clamps down the rusty latch that holds the gate. The four of you are on this path, which at some point you would imagine was maybe brick, like a brick pathway that led up to the home, but that's long overgrown, and a few places where you still see the patches of the brick walkway are gone. To the right, you can see there was probably a driveway that where cars were parked. You can see the double gate that allows cars to come in, or allowed cars to come in at some point, or maybe even horse and carriages. Who knows how old this house is? The paint, who knows what color this house was painted, because the paint is long gone. It's all exposed wood at this point. Any type of decorations, any type of elegance that this home had is gone. Everything is water stained. And as you are starting to approach the house, you just get the smell of old. Now, looking around, this is a large yard. It's at least a half an acre. There's off to the left, you can see what appears to be maybe a well. It's hard to tell exactly, but it's a circular stone structure that maybe at some point had a bucket system over it, but now you can see it's just covered with boards. In the far back, you see maybe a shadow of a shed, maybe like a storage shed of something that's in the far backyard. The trees are all dead. So whatever beauty that this place had is long, long gone.
I think
Shirley is
I'm
obviously
walking.
in the lead. Yeah, Shirley is 100% decided she is in the lead, and she says, "All right, so let's assess the situation. We have a house. Do we even know if this place leaks? Like, we might be in. It looks like it's going to rain. We might be in for some wet times. So, the first thing we should do is find a place that's going to be as dry as possible because we don't want to spend the night wet. That would be awful. So, and the second play thing we should probably do is check for like the floorboards because they might be like rotted through, and I would hate to fall into that. So,
That's my concern.
let's just be careful, and she will open the door.
If we go anywhere within 10 feet of that well, I have to look into it.
Me too. I'm kind of interested in it.
Drew's like,
So-
"We're
I know I'm
only
not
gonna
going to
be
see
here for-
anything. Just
Go ahead, Shanika.
We're only going to be here for a few hours, everyone. Like, it's not going to be that bad. We just find a room to sit down in, take a nap, and then it's the next day."
Right.
So he's staying close to you as you guys work your way into the yard. And Shirley, you're the first one to step onto the front porch. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you step on the concrete steps that are cracked that lead up to this front porch. And as you get up there, you're getting a much better view of the condition of this home. You can see several boards missing on the porch. And as soon as your foot hits the wood for the first time, you can just hear the creaking, the strain that this wood is having in trying to just hold your weight. And to the right of where you are, you can see where the front porch has given up and it's starting to fall and just degrade into the yard itself.
Yeah, be careful stepping up here. It probably shouldn't have all five of us up here at the same time. And she kind of gingerly steps towards the door.
You get to the door.
She looks back at everybody else and kind of like grins really big and then pushes it open.
So it's closed. You turn the
Mhm.
knob. It's got this, what I would imagine at some point was a gorgeous doorknob, and you're so large that your hand almost doesn't fit around it. And as you turn the doorknob, you can hear the cranking of the mechanics behind the doorknob, and you hear it just. And I think the door was a lot heavier than you expected because you pull back on the door, and then you hear the strain of the hinges as you pull this big oak door back. And it lets you into a large entryway, a large hallway, very in typical Victorian style. You've got a big entranceway with the stairs leading to the second floor. The first thing you notice, though, Shirley, as the only one looking inside, is the candles. There's 3 candles that are lit on top of the side table on the inside, and they're these thick, almost the size of like this big around, so like thick candles. They're about this tall, and they're like a yellowish white with a flame going on, but it's providing
turn
light
back.
on the interior.
She'll turn back to the group and she'll be like, Roger, you said you hadn't been in here. Somebody's been in here. Maybe there's like a homeless guy around or something. Like maybe
No,
this
you
is
dorks. Of course I've been here. I put candles up already because we need to be able to see when we get inside.
Well, you could have said that.
Well, I just did.
All right, fine. And she goes into to the entryway.
All right, so Shirley makes her way into the entryway. What's everybody else doing?
Uh,
I think I'm going to take up the rear. And I want to look where the porch is broken to see if there's some sort of secret cave under there.
So Charles, you kind of take a right and head down to where that's broken off, and when you look at where the porch is kind of fallen apart, what you do notice is there's obviously some sort of crawl space that's below the porch, and that's exposed there, which, I wouldn't say it's a secret passage or anything along those lines. It's pretty typical, right, to have kind of a crawl space under the front porch. Obviously, it's all just dirt and no vegetation or anything, where the covering used to be, where the porch used to shelter out.
Okay. I don't see any snakes, right? Because I don't like snakes.
No snakes. Hey, weirdo, the house is this way.
Okay. I just kind of look down and humbly walk along.
Everybody heading in?
Yeah, Julia's gonna head in.
So you guys come into this entry hall, and you can immediately tell that it extends the entire length of the house. So you can actually see the back door from where you're standing. And part of the reason you can see the back door is that every place where the furniture is not destroyed, where there's any type of a level surface, we assume Roger has set up these large yellowish white murky candles. So it allows you to see all the way down. You can see the steps, even though some of them are missing, that lead up to a second floor. To your right, you see a large sliding door that's closed. That's obviously leads to another room, but it's a door that you would obviously need to grab, and it would slide to present open. Onto the left is a room, which from where you are, you can see some old furniture in that room. But let's talk about the entryway. A couple things stand out. One is this huge grandfather clock that's immediately to the right. And it's tough to know just how old this thing is. The front glass that would kind of protect and cover the inner workings of the clock is gone. It's been torn off. And any of the guts, any of the wheels and gears that may have made this a working clock at some point, those have been taken out as well. You can smell mold. The air feels damp. Shirley, I think you recognize a smell. I don't know if the other three would. The other three would smell it and go, this smells yucky. But I think Shirley, based on you being a Girl Scout, you can smell it, and it's urine. You smell like animal urine, that really ammonia smell.
Yeah.
Just immediately you recognize it and know exactly what it is. Whatever semblance of furniture was in this entry hall, most of it has been destroyed. The few tables that still remain in pieces have these candles on top of it. Roger comes in, and he strains and he pulls the door closed. And you see him pull out a key. He puts the key in the door, cranks it, and you hear like, clunk. He takes the key out. He goes, all right, you chickens, this is one key. And he takes it and he throws it through the letter slot of the door, throwing it outside. And I hid the other key in the house. So not only do you need to spend the whole night here, but you chicken bugs got to find the key or you can't get out.
We could just go out a window, right?
No, you got to stay in the house the whole night.
Okay.
But why throw out the first key? Why not just put it in your pocket?
Because I don't trust any of you. And I don't know about you, but I'm gonna be asleep here in the next 10 minutes because I'm not scared at all of this place. And I didn't want one of you dork faces stealing the key.
But I mean, if you would have just waited and just locked the door when we were out this room, then you probably wouldn't have did all of that.
hey, look, little Miss Fancy Pants, next time you can dare everybody to spend the night here and you can do whatever you want. But tonight, it's my show, my dare.
Fine, fine, fine.
Roger, did you see any like cats or anything while you were in here earlier? Because it definitely smells like there's cats or something around.
Well, bet it smells like your house, doesn't it?
I'm allergic to cats. Spaz.
No, I didn't see any cats.
Well,
Do you think-
something lives here.
Do you think there
Have
are any
you-
bats in here?
Go ahead, Kevin.
Do you think there are any bats in here?
Maybe if they are, they'd be roosting in like the attic or something. We could
That'd be-
definitely go check it out.
I'm gonna go see if they're bats. That'd be fun.
Why do you want to find bats?
They're cool.
They're super
What?
neat.
You don't want to
They
see a
use-
bat?
They use
No.
sonar. They use sonar to find their way. They're really, really cool. And you can actually use their poop industrially. Like it's expensive. People pay a lot of money for it.
Maeve,
Okay.
Maeve, can you give me a science class roll?
Yeah, absolutely. Gym class. Science class.
What is your science class?
It is 10. So just a regular roll, no bonus dice. or
How about
anything.
nature? What is your nature?
Nature? Nature is an 80.
All right, let's do that. Let's do a nature roll.
Okay. 54.
All right, regular success. So Shirley, as you're looking around, kind of taking all this in, you've immediately identified the smell of the animal urine. You also notice there's like 4 plants, and they're in kind of these iron metal planters that are on the ground. And though you're not quite sure exactly what the plants are, what really stands out to you is the fact that they're alive at all.
Right.
So in order for a house plant to survive, it would need light. Who knows where that's coming from in this house? And it would need water, and it would need tending. And these plants are bursting and just vibrantly alive and bursting from each of these potters.
Roger, are you sure nobody lives here?
Yeah,
Yeah, then explain that. And I'll point to the plants.
it's a plant, dork.
It's a plant that someone has to take care of. Plants don't just grow in houses.
Do you live here, Roger?
No, nobody would want to live here.
I mean, my cousin said that that the Italian mob used to launder drugs and stuff through here. So I'm growing concerned that there's still some illegal activity going on.
I heard it was a satanic cult.
Ooh, do you think they buried
Maybe.
anybody in the crawl space?
I mean, you have to, right?
Yeah.
Roger, have you been in all the
Oh.
rooms?
Or they could have just went poor and no one else could afford to buy the house, and
They just went poor.
that's it.
They caught the poor.
They got the poor. It's amazing. So Roger, hearing the question about the other rooms in the house, goes, yeah, I've been everywhere. I've got all the candles set up so that you fraidy cats don't get too scared. So who's going to find the key?
Are there? Can I see the floor well enough to see if there's like footprints? If there's dust?
Yeah, let's do a what's the equivalent of spot hidden? I forget in Kid Cthulhu.
Notice stuff?
Yeah, let's do a notice stuff.
I'm gonna notice that stuff. Hopefully.
That's a nice
you
roll.
do.
17. Yeah, that is a good check. Ooh, 2 stars. Okay. Luckily, everybody stopped and they're kind of standing in that front entryway, Paul. And you can see footprints. And looking at Roger's boots, they could be Roger's. You can see footprints going down the hallway towards that back door, where you can also see at least 2 other doors on the left or the right. So it looks like there's a total of 2 doors on the left and 2 doors on the right, the 2 that are closest to you now, and then another set towards the end. You can see footprints going into each of these rooms. You can see some footprints that obviously have gone up the steps. You also see tracks. And your best guess is maybe rodents.
Okay. And all the footprints are the same. They all match. Okay. You know, Roger, when people set up hidden objects and stuff, it's traditional to give some kind of clue or a cryptic hint about where it might be.
Yeah.
Ooh. So you guys already are giving up? You already guys
No,
already
I'm just
need
saying
hints?
that's just how these things work.
There are rules, Roger.
You haven't even started looking yet.
You gotta give
Yeah,
us a
so
hint before we do.
I guess it. I'm gonna do a taunt here. Okay, well, if
Don't
you're
roll
not
yet. I
smart
wanna hear the
enough,
thought first.
if you're not smart enough to think up a really good cryptic hint, I guess we'll just start from scratch.
All right. I want it with a bonus die.
Yay.
29. Listen, dork. You want a clue? It's in the house. And Paul, I don't know if this has ever happened between you and Roger before, but he's kind of like physically gotten into your space a little bit. And he doesn't like violently push you, but he just kind of like, as a show of dominance, just kind of like gives you a little bit of a shove as he says that.
Okay.
All right. And Shirley tries to get like kind of in between them a little bit. She's like, okay, so it's in the house. We get that, Roger. We'll start looking. And I think the first place, and she looks over at Charles, is we look in the attic, right? For the bats, right? Let's go
Right,
do that.
exactly.
Anybody that wants to go to the attic, let's go to the attic. Roger, you can hang out here, I guess, if you're not interested in bats. But they're really cool, so you should be.
And sometimes they could be vampires. That'd be cool.
Vampires doesn't exist.
I don't think they do around here.
You don't know that. Have you ever seen one around here?
No.
I have.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, let's go upstairs and look.
Shirley
No,
kind of
in
gives him a
Scooby-Doo, they always
side eye
split
and
up.
then leads the way upstairs.
Did I hear Paul saying you're going to split up?
I'm just saying in Scooby-Doo, they always split up to cover more ground.
Should we split
Right.
up? It is a key. We don't know where Roger hid this key either.
Yeah, I don't want to be looking. I don't want morning to come and still not have it.
Yeah, we can't spend all night struggling to find this key. We're gonna have to sleep sometime. Look, the book says that we have to get at least 4 hours of sleep so that we can be prepared for tomorrow. Because we're gonna have to like tell our parents what's going on or like come up with something. And if we're too sleep deprived, we won't be able to come up with a good reason for.
Where's Roger?
I'll turn around. Yeah.
There's no way he's that sneaky.
Yeah.
You heard him.
I don't know whether you guys were just so entrenched trying to figure out what you're going to do and so caught in conversation, and I'm not sure who figured this out first, but Roger's gone.
Right. Probably went out a window.
Right.
Right, kid. I swear the handbook says that you have to be nice to everyone, but he just pushes my buttons.
Well, Roger's a jerk.
And he's gonna try to scare us. He's gonna jump out and go boo again.
He's going to be
Sort of
hiding
odd.
behind something.
If he does not have my Zippo in the morning, I guess I don't know what I'll do, but I won't be happy.
We will make sure to get your Zippo back. I will let my dad know.
Oh, thank you.
All right,
Well-
so are we splitting up or what are we doing?
Maybe I'll go with you now because I do want to see the bat. But
Okay.
I
After
don't
that.
want to be by myself, so I'll come with you.
So we're heading to the stairs.
Yeah.
So the four of you get to the stairs, and Nobody needs to roll for this. We're going to have to be careful going up these steps. You can already tell there's 2 steps that are completely missing that you're going to have to step over. And most of the boards on these steps have kind of warped with weathering. Some even have lost some of the nails on one side. They've curved up so much. There is a rail. And as soon as you put your hand on the handrail, you can immediately feel it shaking and giving way. So I don't think this is what you would grab if you were to slip and head down the stairs. I don't think that this railing will provide any type of support.
Yeah, Shirley will test it out and she'll kind of frown a little bit and she'll go, okay, so I have an idea. Just stay to the side because the edge of these steps should be more sturdy than like the middle. I don't know that I'd trust the middle of these steps. And she kind of shimmies over to like the side the railing's not on and puts her hand like on the wall and just sort of like walks up very carefully.
So Shirley's
just
going
watch
up
for
first.
nails.
Yeah, Shirley's always first.
Okay. Paul
She's
says
brave,
watch for
Amy.
nails, but who's going behind Shirley?
I would go.
I'm gonna grab one of these candles and carry it with me so that I can see where I'm stepping. But then I'll go unless.
I'll go last. I do pull out my little Indiana Jones toy whip, though.
And Paul, you grab the
Call.
candle. It's a little bit heavier than I think you anticipated it to be, but large enough that pouring the wax a little bit on the broken furniture, some of the melted wax comes off, so it's relatively safe for you to hold it because of the indentation that the candle's been burning. If these were new candles, maybe the candles have been going for maybe 4 or 5 hours. Easily, these candles will last the night. But yeah, you have no trouble actually grabbing that candle and bringing it with you. So you guys work your way up the steps. Luckily, I think that Shirley has found the safest path, knowing where to step, where not to step. She's being very, very careful as she heads on up. As you're going up, Shirley, the smells are getting worse. So that smell of urine is getting stronger. That musky, moldy smell is getting stronger. And another smell, which maybe you smelled when you were downstairs, but now that you're working your way slowly up these steps, you're starting to get a sense of this smell. Can I get another nature roll from you?
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah. On an 80, that's an extreme success. Okay. So I'm going to tell you a lot more than I thought I was going to. It's dead.
Mm-hmm.
It's rotting. And it definitely smells like the dead rot of a larger animal. So maybe like a dog or maybe even a little bit larger. So it doesn't smell like dead bats, right? Or dead rodents. It smells larger, but you know, as you're going up with all of the time that you've spent in the woods and you've seen a few dead animals, you're able to recognize that smell.
Yeah, I'll look back, especially at Julie, and I'll be like, so just to let you know, like one time when I was out in the woods, there was this like deer, and it had probably been there for like a couple days, and it was super gross, but like also kind of cool, but also really gross. So just to let you know, there's probably something that's kind of like that deer up here. Like it might be really gross. So if I see it, I'll just let you know if that bothers you at all.
I don't know how a deer would get in here, but yes,
how do
let
you
me
know that?
know.
Maybe it's a dog, maybe it's, I don't know, but it's
Oh,
something.
no.
Yeah, like it'll be kind of gross. So just letting you know, I'm gonna, be slow and cautious and see what's going on. And she'll
Thank
kind
you.
of continue up the stairs.
Maybe it's a person.
Because being a good scout is also being a good leader.
Do you think there's a dead body in here?
I don't think
That's
it's.
what I just heard.
Mhm.
Wait,
Well, it's a
with
dead body of
Roger?
something, but I don't think it's a person. I hope it's not. Do you think it could be a person?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
No.
Roger is a bully.
Do you think Roger killed somebody?
Maybe that's why we're here.
Maybe
I
it's
heard
the
that his
thickness.
brother killed somebody last year.
Really?
Shirley, you feel something wet kind of fall and drop onto your ear. And it's not water, and you kind of grab it and you hold it, and it's saliva. You can tell immediately. And you look up, and on the railing on the top floor, you can see Roger.
Ew.
It looks like he's trying to get another loogie out.
Roger, you spaz.
Oh my God, take cover.
You guys are taking forever. Just come up the steps already.
God, you're disgusting.
Well, keep taking your time. I'll give everybody a shower, not just Shirley.
Ugh. You're so gross.
Okay,
And
go.
Kind of
go,
like
go.
keep heading up the stairs.
Talk about regret coming out.
Ugh.
So navigating up, you come up to what is essentially a landing. It's another hallway, almost identical in size and width as one you came from before, right off of the first floor. And it also seems to run the entire length of the house. What's different here is that you have a huge open area where the staircase was, right? And you've got, again, this railing that extends up the side of the steps and then wraps around the landing as well. And Roger's standing over that and was spitting down on Shirley. At the very top of the steps, which is now you facing the back of the house, there is what was obviously very large bay style window that would have looked out onto the backyard, but you can also tell that it's been shuttered closed, and you can see the 4 latches that are keeping it closed. If there was glass here, that's long gone. If there was any type of framing, glass framing, that is long gone as well. There's closed doors to your left and to your right, and there are several more doors if you were to head down the hallway.
Is Roger still up here? Or has he run off?
Nope, he's there waiting for you guys.
She'll kind of walk up and just like push him a little bit. That was gross. Also, what's dead up here, Roger? You've been in all these rooms.
You sure it's not him you're smelling?
Nothing's dead. And you get to push me once, Shirley.
Well, don't spit on me again, you
That's
spaz.
it. You don't think I'll hit a girl?
If you hit her, I'm push you then.
I can beat all of you up, and you know that.
Just what else is up here, Roger? There's something.
I don't know. This is your little thing, right? No clues from me.
Fine.
This is your little thing. Can you say sewer game? Where's the attic?
Don't know.
You said you'd been in all the rooms.
You see, he's also obviously set up candles up here. Same type of candle that you're carrying as well, Paul. There's no apparent stairs from where you are, though, like I mentioned, there are several closed doors. There's the 2 immediately at the top of the steps, 2 or 3 more on the right-hand side of the hallway if you were to turn around and head down towards the front of the house, 1 at the very end of the hallway, and then a second one off to the left on the other side of the landing. And again, if you were trying to sneak around this house, it would be near impossible because it sounds like every step you can feel the floor straining. You can hear the creaking of the wood itself. Who has got? I want to hear everybody's notice score. I want to find out who has the highest notice.
60.
40.
I've also got a 60.
Me too.
Oh, we got 3. All right, so the 3 of you with 60, go ahead and give me a roll. You're spared, Julia.
Oof.
Shirley succeeds. Good Lord, you guys are in Fuego. Paul succeeds. Just need Charles. Is it clicking for you, Charles?
Nope.
All right, let's take a look at your character sheet here real quick. Hold on one second.
Craig, what are
Because
the
I
gold symbols next to the skills?
if you succeed, you should get a little symbol that appears next to it that lets you know you succeed.
Okay.
It's tracking when you succeed,
Gotcha.
because that's how you level up
Okay.
at the end of sessions. Yeah, it should work for you now, Kevin. Sorry.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
All right, so we got a success from Shirley and a success from Paul. Paul, as you were kind of working your way up the steps, and now that you've gotten to the top of the steps, Shirley had all of you kind of close to the wall, right? As you were kind of working your way up, staying away from the railing, away from that part of the steps. And you noticed noises in the wall as you were going up. And even though you don't have nearly the expertise in nature that Shirley does, it's rodents. There's obviously mice or something that's scurrying around in the walls. And Shirley, you know immediately what you're hearing.
Guys, let's just stay away from the walls. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's just stay away from the walls. And which door should we try? Let's just get away from here. Which door should we try?
This one. She points to the one like furthest down the hall, the opposite direction of Roger.
Well,
All
no, Roger's. So where Roger is on the landing is you'd have to go past Roger to get back towards the front of the house.
Okay, then pass Roger.
So if either there's two doors that are right there where you are now, so you could go to either of those rooms without having to interact with Roger.
Yeah, she'll say, "Any, mini, money, mo." Let's go to the right side.
do we see Roger's footprints in the dust there, going into
Yeah.
the door?
Yep.
All right.
We're gonna go to the right.
Mhm.
Who's opening the door?
I think Shirley's still in charge. She's still leading from the front. She'll open the door.
So, Shirley, you turn the door and you push it, and the wood that has been the hallway floor, the wood that's been the steps, the wood that you've been walking on the entire time that you've been in the house, the floor to this room is different. It's broken tile. There's a candle on what probably was a sink, though it's been shattered and broken. And you can see a claw style tub on the far side. So this is obviously a bathroom. It's got a broken sink. It's got the tub. The tub on the interior has got like a brown stained ring around it. The window, there is still glass. It is cracked, but also shuttered close with the shutters on the outside. And even though it's kind of fallen a little bit, you can see what was probably a medicine cabinet with a broken mirror above the sink.
How much is there room for all four of us in here, or just like
It's
two at a time?
large, yeah. So
Okay.
all four of you easily could go in if you wanted to.
This is where they made the bootlegger gin.
Yeah, while we've got this open, we might as well look for a key. Roger's
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
request, and
Yeah,
she'll
yeah.
head in and kind of let everybody get inside.
Roger's the key in this room.
Don't know.
I'm trying to read him.
You're not getting anything from him.
Okay.
And as we see Charles pulling up the rear to come in the room, we also see Roger come in. So all five of you are now in this bathroom. The door is still remaining open, and opposite of the door is that broken sink with the kind of the falling to pieces mirrored medicine cabinet.
Julia's gonna look around the medicine cabinet.
So Julia, you walk up to it, and even though you're not really tall, because of the way the medicine cabinet is set and as large as this broken mirror is, you can see yourself as you walk up to it. You can see where there was a faucet, and it's not clear if what happened to it maybe got stolen, right? Maybe this place has been here and looted a million times. I'm sure that in its prime, it was probably a gorgeous fixture. You can tell where the sink has been cracked and broken, and you look to your left, you can see the other half of the sink there. And as you look in the mirror, you can see the door behind you, and you see Roger, and you see Charles coming in, and then you see somebody walk past the door. Let's go to a break. We'll be back in 10 minutes. So, like I said, Julia, as you walked up to the medicine cabinet, as you looked in the mirror, you were able to see everybody, right? You can see all of the other kids, you can see Roger, and then you saw an adult sized shadow pass in the hallway across the door. And we're going to get our first sand roll. So, if you
Oh
can
my
roll
gosh.
sand for me.
Yes, yes, I can. One quick second. Mm,
You should be able to just, yep.
hold on, let me click it.
Let
Wait.
me make
Oh,
sure
I got it.
you got it. Okay, great.
Mhm. At 61.
That is a success. I need a 1d4. So you can do it right from
Okay.
the tray down at the very bottom.
3.
Go ahead, drop 3 sand for me.
Okay, cool. No problem.
What is your daily sand level?
14.
Okay. All right. So you've lost three sand total. You still got an 11 to go before poor Julia starts to freak out a little bit. So you see that shadow go by, Julia.
She stops and turns around and like kind of skitters to the door and like peeks out. Roger, you said no one else is here.
And you look out in that hallway, Julia, there's nobody in that hallway. Yeah, just us, dummy.
Someone walk by. I just saw somebody's shadow walk by.
Ooh, I bet
No.
it's a ghost.
Ghost
Probably a
real.
shadow from me carrying this candle around.
Are there footprints?
Give me a notice roll. Notice things. God, you guys are
Nice.
killing it on these rolls. So Charles, if you go out and you look down, right? So and you know, that was a nice success too. It's not like you took a full inventory of what footprints there were and what there weren't, but if what Julia saw went down past the hallway, right, walking towards the front of the house was the direction that it passed by, you don't see any additional footprints.
Mm. Are you sure you saw something?
100% sure. I
Look,
looked in
it's
the
probably
mirror.
Roger's stupid brother trying to scare us. They're probably in on it together.
But there are no footprints.
It's a shadow.
Yeah.
We all
Could be
just
a
need
ghost,
to take
though.
a deep breath.
Ghosts aren't real.
I don't know.
I mean,
There's nothing in the handbook about ghosts, guys. I think we're fine. And she's going to look in the tub to see if the key might be hiding in the tub.
Be careful. I've seen The Shining. Be careful.
So Shirley, you go to the tub and you can see that the tub is obviously either plugged or stopped up because there's probably 7 inches of water just dark, and you can see the color of the rust and the murkiness. It's completely opaque, and it's got that kind of that stagnant smell. In fact, you can even see some mosquitoes that have obviously have been using this stagnant water.
Roger, please don't tell me you've dropped the key in here.
Not my job to find it.
Is there a plunger or something, guys? I need something to like pull the
I look
Like-
around.
Does anybody have a stick? I'm looking at the scepter.
Julia looks. No.
So Julia,
you want to
you're
find the
looking
key or
around.
not?
Julius, you're looking around for a stop, for something to help unplug this toilet, and hopefully maybe even a stick so that Charles will stop looking at your scepter. You look back in the mirror of this medicine cabinet, this broken mirror. And before I describe what happens, I first need to find out about Julia's grandmother. Can you tell me about Julia's grandmother?
Julia adores her grandmother. I do believe her grandmother probably did pass a few years back, 1 to 2 years, but her grandmother absolutely, they adored one another. If anything, that was pretty much like her second child, um, from her father's side, her father's mother. Now her mom would get upset with how much overstepping the grandma might do in the upraising of Julia. But Julia absolutely adores her.
So, what is Julia's reaction when she sees her grandmother in the mirror standing in the hallway?
Well, first she's gonna be like, she's gonna stop fully and say, "Grandma,"
And still looking in the mirror, she smiles.
and she turns right around.
So you turn right around immediately. The doorway is empty. There is no one there. And I feel like I'm picking on you, but I definitely need another sand roll.
64.
We've had one failure this entire
One
game.
They're common.
So do a /R space 1d3 for me.
Okay. Three.
Got my maximum. So go ahead and drop 3 for me on your sand.
Oh gosh, Julie's gonna be out of here soon.
So you whip your head around and she's not there. And she's dead.
Guys, I just keep seeing my grandma was in the mirror in the doorway, and now she's gone.
I think maybe it's the smells of this place are starting to get to you. Maybe they're getting to all of us. Just breathe. Just breathe.
No, I saw her. I saw her.
Shirley, can you give me a be a pal roll?
Yeah. I'm not so
I
good at
just,
this.
like, she died. Maybe the ghost thing is real.
So somehow, and I don't know why, but Shirley's attempts to comfort Julia somehow is making things worse.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Oh no, Charles, tell me more about Ghost.
Charles is kind of quiet. He wants to walk up to the mirror and look into it. It's kind of serious right now.
Yeah, Charles, you walk up to the mirror and you can see Shirley trying to comfort Julia by the door. You can see Paul. You, of course, see your own face. Where's Roger?
Is Roger still in the room? Was Roger
put a
pretending
bell on
to be
him.
grandma? Was he pretending to be your grandma, or was it really your grandma?
It looked really like my grandma in the mirror.
Do they look similar at all?
No. No, my grandma does not. No, but my grandma died 2 years ago.
So the mirror is cracked. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is it? Is there a small enough piece that Charles could pull off and put in his little pouch?
Sure. Yeah, like in the corner piece. And as you kind of reach up there, Charles, to kind of grab that piece, and it comes off very, very easily. And a couple more pieces kind of fall into the broken sink.
Oh.
As you do that, you can tell that this is a medicine cabinet, right? So you can tell, and it's not even fully closed. It's closed, but not latched.
Charles, be careful. I don't know if I have my first aid kit on me.
Charles opens the medicine cabinet.
Charles, you open the medicine cabinet, and I don't know how you started to open it, but you immediately slowed down because you could tell that if you went too fast, you might knock the whole thing off the wall, right? Because it was like as you started to pull, initially it pulled the whole thing off the wall, and then you kind of put your hand there and then slowly pulled it open. And as you pulled it open, you can see the wooden interior, the shelves, and the shelves themselves are empty, and you can see the wall, right? So it's a backless medicine cabinet that's built on there. You can see the wall, and you can immediately tell where the rat came from that's staring you in the face. I need a quick stand roll.
Nice.
All right, just drop one sand for me.
Okay.
The rat looks as startled as you, and it's there with the hole in the wall right behind it. And you're staring face to face with it. And it's a big one. It's like this big rat.
I think I jump back and I call for Shirley, because Shirley knows about animals.
Yeah, she'll turn around from Julie and go, what is it?
Look at this.
Yeah.
And Shirley, as you look, and Charles, as you look back at it, you can see its tail, its hairless tail, as it escapes back into the walls.
Oh, gross.
Oh,
Holy cow, that looked like a big one.
We've got to get out of here, everyone.
Do we want to try this tub? See if he put that. It would be like Roger to put the key in this tub.
Why don't we look and find a stick in another room we can use so that we don't have to dirty up the scepter?
Maybe there's like a chair leg or something.
We can use a scepter if we really have to.
Well, let's see what we can do.
The key's never in the first room.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Let's go across the hallway.
So Roger keeps disappearing. Did you guys notice that? Every time you turn around, he's gone.
Next time he shows up, I'm gonna keep my eyes on him.
It was my grandmom. I didn't notice Roger. I don't know when he left.
He's such a jerk. All right, let's go across. Let's go across the hall. And Shirley is once again taking the lead and heading across the hall to the next door.
So Shirley taking the lead, you guys cross the hallway. The stairs leading down are off to your right. Looking, the candles are still lighting up this entire second floor hallway. No sign of Roger. The door that's across the hall from this bathroom is not, it's closed but not latched, right? So you're not going to have to turn the doorknob. You can just push on it to open it.
All right. Is the what's the smell like now that we're up here? Like around this, is it getting worse? Is it still consistent?
As far as where you've traveled so far, it is not getting worse. It's definitely worse up here than it was downstairs.
Right.
But in your travels from the bathroom now to this door, you have not noticed a change.
She will very slowly push the door open.
So, Shirley, you start to push the door open, and even before you really can see into the room, you notice pencil markings on the inside of the door frame. And the first one started about 2.5 feet, maybe 3 foot. You can see a pencil marking, and then a 5 written in pencil. And then above it, you see a marking. You see the number 6 drawn on it. And incrementally, until the pencil marking that is at your eye level, you can see the number 11 written on it. So you push the door open, and this is a smaller room. The walls are stained with water. So water has obviously been leaking in to this house. You see a small broken bed frame on the far wall. Obviously a child's bed. You can see an old style dresser next to it, but the drawers are gone. So it's just an empty frame of a dresser. One of those plants is off to your left, just as vibrant and as overgrown out of its iron cistern as the ones that were downstairs. And then you can see what you assume is a closet door to the right of the dresser. Looking
So
above at the ceiling, you can see the water damage. You can even see some of the mold. And you get that strong smell of that kind of that musty smell.
yeah.
At first you couldn't tell, but as you look around the walls, you can tell that there was obviously some sort of flower patterned wallpaper, but most of it is long gone and curled away.
All right. Yeah, she'll kind of look in here. She'll go, guys, there's not much in this room. There's like a closet we could open, but like, I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna find the key in here. What do you think?
Is the dresser, the top of it, all dusty? Does it look like it's been disturbed? And where are candles in this room?
So there is a candle on the dresser. Are we stepping into the room right now? I have just Shirley at the in the door frame.
Kind of
Yeah,
doing the
I'm gonna-
Scooby Doo thing where all four of our heads are like peeking in.
Just
Okay. So yeah, there is a candle in this room. It is on that dresser. From where you are, you'd have to go farther in a little bit in order to kind of see on top of the dresser to see, if there's any disturbance or dust.
let's
Yeah,
check the
I'm
dresser.
gonna go look.
So you go over to the dresser. There's been some activity. You can see where the dust is. You can see that there's been some activity. It could very well be just Roger or whoever putting that candle there.
Is there any kind of mirror, a hand mirror or anything in the room on the dresser
Oh,
or
gosh.
laying on the floor?
There's broken mirror on the floor.
I'd like to pick up a piece and look in it.
You see yourself.
Okay.
All right, I'm going for the closet.
So Paul, you walk over to the closet, and unlike the door to the room, it is latched closed. You open it, and you were right. It is a closet. It's tiny, maybe 5 foot by 5 foot. And if it held something at some point, it's empty now, except there's a kind of a rotted, almost like you feel like if you touched it, it would just fall to pieces, like this cardboard box at the very bottom of the closet that's completely empty and just falling to pieces. But you get just an unbelievable, like overwhelming wave of smell coming from the closet. And you don't know what it is, but it's feces. You know what poop smells like. And it's overwhelming. And when you look up, you can see that if there was a ceiling to this closet, it is long rotted away. Can I get a nature roll from Shirley?
Yeah.
You guys gotta smell this.
No,
Oh,
I can smell it from here.
past it.
Maybe
All right,
Roger
Steve.
does live here.
He might
That's
do.
that's guano that fills the room. And when he opens that door, you can smell
Yeah,
the guano.
oh, yeah, that's there's definitely bats in the attic. Holy cow. Whew. Step away from there because that can make you kind of sick. So let's just back off a little bit. Oh,
Okay.
goodness.
Did you find it yet, dorks? You guys
Oh my
turn
gosh.
and leaning in on the door frame is Roger.
We didn't find it if it's not in this room, Roger.
How do you move so quietly?
You guys are so easily distracted. So can I
So are
tell
you
you?
saying
Can I tell you a story about this room?
Sure.
yes.
This was Doris's room.
Who's Doris?
Do you know about the Smiths?
No.
Last people to live here were the Smiths. 15 years ago, they moved out. Do you want to know why?
They got poor?
I love her so much. No. You don't get poor, by the way. No. That's because their little Doris vanished. And this was her room. And you want to know how old she was? Your stupid age. She was 11. Maybe that's who you saw in the mirror.
I saw my grandmom in the mirror, which is still weird to say, but it wasn't a little girl.
Oh, Roger, just get out of the way.
Are you guys even looking?
Yes,
Yeah.
Julie's gonna open like the bottom drawer.
So there
From
is
the
no
dresser.
drawers.
There's no
So you can
drawers.
look through the dresser, but the drawers are long gone. And as you look around, Julia, you can see like probably where the woods was destroyed. And this isn't a situation where the drawers were rotted away. You can tell that a long time ago, someone pulled these drawers out, broke them, and busted them all throughout. Same thing probably with the bed too. It doesn't look like the bed fell apart or just aged away. It was obviously broken deliberately.
Okay. Well, there's nothing in here. Should we just go to the next room now?
Yeah, I agree. And Shirley pushes past Roger, just kind of gives him a glare as she goes past.
So initially, he's not going to let you pass. Did you look everywhere?
Is it in this room?
No, we didn't look under the bed.
There's no under the bed. You can just see everything. It's just the frame.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go kick the cardboard box in the closet, like kick it aside, see what's under it.
Did you hide it in the bat poop?
Did you guys find bat poop?
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
I just thought I was smelling you, Chuck.
Don't call me Chuck.
So he steps out of the way. He's no longer blocking the door. He kind of steps back into the hallway to let you out.
Come on, guys. Let's try the next one.
All right.
Hey, Roger, I think I saw a family member of yours in the mirror in the bathroom here. You should go take a look.
What?
In the medicine cabinet.
So he
Just
kind of
to
looks
see.
at you funny a little bit, and he walks into the bathroom.
Let's hurry up and go.
He walks back out and he goes, "You're such a jerk."
Oh, is he gone?
He's in. If you want to do something while he's in the bathroom, you can.
No. I'm saying to Roger, is the rack on? Oh shoot.
So if you on the same side of the hallway as the bathroom, there is another door. So it's kind of the next door as you go down the hallway. Is that where we're headed?
Mhm.
Shirley is first, as usual.
Yep.
So
She's
Shirley,
going.
door is closed but not latched. You push this door open, and the room is almost identical in size to the little girl's room that you just came from, but looks very, very different. It also has a window on the far side that obviously leads out to the side of the house. Again, cracked glass in the frame and closed shut with the shutters. Another smell comes as you open the door. You smell two things immediately. You smell burnt wood and gasoline. And as you push the door open, you can see in the far left corner just a heap of wood, broken up wood, like furniture, different pieces of furniture, maybe in parts of the bed frame that you just saw in the little girl's room, all piled up, and parts of it are charred black. Under there, or right above it, you can see where part of the curtain that was used to be drawn across the window, you can see the bottom of it is burnt. Like the bottom third of it's burnt away. Looking around, you see that whatever was in this room was obviously broken up and put into this corner. And you don't need to roll for this with that 80 nature. This fire may be a week or two old, but there was definitely a fire in this room.
Roger, you said nobody's in here. Somebody, like, between the plants and this, like, somebody's clearly here.
So something weird. Because as you turn to say that to Roger, you see Roger, but unlike he's always been in two different places relative to you, gone or like right on top of you, right? Following you guys very, very closely. This time, he is staying at the end of the hallway, away from that door.
Roger, what do you know? Are you trying to scare us?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, come here.
Come here and look at this.
No, I don't need to go there.
Are you chicken?
No, I've already been in there. I don't need to go there.
Is there a candle in this room?
There is not.
I think Charles wants to poke through the fire to see if he can see anything in there.
So, Charles, you walk into the room. Again, the smell of almost fresh burning, and as you kind of like go to that pile, and the pile almost goes up to your shoulders, right? There's a ton of broken furniture was burned here, and you can tell as you're kind of pulling the wood out where the fire had started, and obviously you can now, as you're pulling away, you can see the scorch marks of the fire that were on the wall itself. But it just looks like somebody started a fire in here and it was extinguished. You also hear the rain starting to fall outside. And
The walls in here wet like they were in the other room.
So you can see the water stains, Paul. So yeah, water has dripped in. You look up to the ceiling, you see the same water stains on the ceiling that you've seen the whole time here on the second floor.
I think I'd like to pull out that piece of mirror and look in it, kind of move it around, see if I can see anything around the room.
Be careful, you might see my grandma.
I'll tell her you said hi.
So you pull the mirror out and you're kind of like trying to look at the room through the mirror. So you kind of hold it. And as you're looking, everything seems to be right? So what you're seeing in the mirror is what you're seeing in the room itself. But you don't see anything. But there is a presence. A feeling of a presence from the mirror, not the room. And it's fleeting, right? It's fleeting, and it feels like, you know, that feeling when you're in a room and you know someone's looking at you. You just know it. You don't have to turn your head. That's the feeling you got from that piece of mirror.
Is anybody else in the room with me?
I think, yeah, sure. Whoever needs to be, yeah.
I just wanted to whisper something quietly. I want to whisper, Mom, are you there?
No response.
Okay.
Well,
I put it back in my pouch.
if Roger won't come in here, there's no candle in here, so the key probably isn't in here either.
That's true.
I'm gonna go back in the doorway. Is Roger still? Has he moved?
No, he's still there, and he's actually kind of turned his head. He's not even looking at you. He's kind of looking in the little girl's room, and then he looks in the bathroom, but it's not looking. Won't even look at the door of this room.
I'm gonna try to keep my eyes on him in general when I'm not doing something else at this point. Well, I don't know. Let's look in another room.
You sure? Do you think they were just burning like furniture to stay warm?
Who knows?
Oh.
It's a fire hazard. I know that.
It was probably the Satanists.
Or ghosts. I'm starting to believe in this ghost thing now.
I don't
Why
think
would
ghosts can start
need
fires.
a fire?
Maybe they can.
Like,
Well,
a
why
ghost
would
wouldn't
they?
be cold, so why would they need a fire?
Especially if no one's here.
That's true.
I'll head back out to the hallway and call out to Roger. It's safe now. You can come out.
Just close the door.
Come on, guys. Let's go to the next room.
Grandma? Okay.
So what remains is three more doors, I should say. There's a door at the end of the hall that would facing towards the front of the house, and then two more doors on the left and on the right.
Where do you guys
All
want to try next?
closed.
Let's just take the next one.
Left.
Do we close the door to the room with the fire?
Yeah, to
Julie,
make Roger feel
say-
happy.
Julie would say, just leave it open. He'll stop scaring us.
If Shirley closes it, Paul is going to open it back up when he passes it.
Okay. So
All right.
Roger's staying where he is as you guys continue down the hallway.
I'll yell back, Roger, if your stupid brother jumps out and scares us, I am going to kick your butt. I just want you
You
to know
wouldn't
that.
call Ace stupid if he was here. You wouldn't say that to his face.
Well, he's not here.
And yeah, we'll go.
You know,
for
because he's down the hall.
All right, so we got the end of the hallway. We've got the left and to the right. Which one are we? Which door are
we
we
said
going
the
to
left.
next? Shirley? All right.
Sounds like left.
So this door is closed and latched, but not locked. So you turn the key. You turn the knob. Sorry, and you open it up, and the size of this room surely tells you, along with some other things, that this is obviously a master bedroom.
Mhm.
It's about twice as large as the bedroom that had the fire in it and the girl's bedroom that you saw. You can immediately tell that the quality of the floor in here is far more deteriorated than anywhere you've seen, and it looks like potentially water damage because you can almost see a sagging in the middle of the room. And up above, you can see much darker, moldier water stains right above that sag in the center of the room. You can see a large closet door closed, and another very much larger bed frame, a canopy style bed frame, but again, no mattress, no springs. The wood has been cracked and broken, and that's off to the side. If there was a dresser in here, you can see like where a dresser was up against the wall because of the water stains are different color, but that's gone. So if there was a dresser here, it is no longer there. And there are two windows. Same scenario, broken glass. The shutters are closed and latched.
Is there a
Biggest
candle?
thing, there is a candle. The biggest thing, though, is that dead smell is stronger here than anywhere you've smelled before.
Maybe we should skip this room. Like, it
Is
doesn't
there a
look safe.
candle?
Yeah, but like, look at that floor. If it falls in on us, like, we could get hurt.
Well-
That's a long way down.
I mean, Roger's already been in here then, right? So the floor must be okay.
No, that's one person. Like, maybe we should go one at a time. All right. I'll go in. You guys just hang back. We don't want the floor to break, so I'll go through. I can do this.
Paul, can I get a notice things roll with a bonus die?
You can get a notice stuff roll.
Notice stuff, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You see Roger out of the corner of your eye going downstairs.
Okay, I'm just gonna clock that and let him leave.
Okay.
So he's
Shirley, are we going
not
into the master
ghosting
bedroom?
through the walls.
Yep. Yeah, we're gonna go. I think she's just gonna go straight for one of the closet doors.
Okay. Taking your time, you can tell that if you go to the center of this room, there's a good chance this floor is not going to hold.
Right.
But it seems relatively safe as long as you're staying near the walls.
Yeah.
So you
Actually,
go.
sorry to interrupt. I'm gonna follow and go to the stairs and try to watch Roger what he's doing.
Okay. All right. So
But
we'll
we can
cut
do
to
that.
you in just a second. So you're going to not be in the master bedroom. You're going to be in the hallway, looking down at Roger going down the steps.
And she's going to have pulled her shirt up to kind of like over her nose to kind of and mouth to kind of like reduce some of the smell or filter some of the smell.
You get to the closet door, and it's got a modest doorknob on it. And are we going to open?
Yeah, I think she opens it.
It's locked.
What's the door? What's the situation on this door? Does it look pretty sturdy, or does it look like a good enough couple tugs will break it free?
No, I think for Shirley at least, and maybe even among the strong, I think Roger might even have a hard time kind of breaking this door by hand.
She'll call out, ask Roger if he's got a key to this door. If not, I'll just move on.
So let's cut to Paul. Paul, you're on the landing, looking over the railing, but I'm going to assume not leaning on the railing.
Yeah.
You see Roger go down the steps. At the bottom of the steps, you see him get on one knee. And you see a large gray fat cat come up to Roger. And the candlelight's dancing, so you're not getting a real clear look at anything at this point, right? There's as much shadows as light, if anything. But you could swear you could hear whispering.
Hey, Roger.
So he looks up at you. The cat takes off. Did you find the key?
We can't get into the closet in the master bedroom. Do you know how to open that?
It's easy, stupid lock. It'll take you like 2 seconds to figure it out. And he walks out of your view.
Well, I have picked a couple easy padlocks before I'm going back to the group and saying this, so I could try the closet.
All right, just come in here, but be really careful. Stay away from the middle. And she'll kind of scoot out of the doorway as much as she can to avoid the soggy parts of the floor to give him some space to come in.
All right.
So you get to the door, Paul, and Roger was right. It's pretty rudimentary. I don't know what kind of small tools, even if you're to pick up a shard or wood, you can probably do that. Give me a fixed stuff roll.
Yeah.
You guys make this game so easy.
And Shirley will go, look, okay, I don't have a lock-picking merit badge.
Right. So
Not
I
yet.
can show you.
we hear the click
it's
as
fun.
Paul successfully unlocks the door with a little shard of wood.
That's pretty cool.
I'm really glad that worked. But yeah, I'll pull the closet door open.
Yeah, it pulls open. So you pull it open. This is a much larger closet than the other closet we saw in the kids' room. It is also has the water damage on the walls. Appears to have a ceiling.
Is there poop or a dead body?
It's the second one. In the corner of the closet, you can see a man. He's in kind of a heavy, maybe ex-military style jacket. You can see He's wearing blue jeans. You can see military-style combat boots on his feet. You can see what looks like maybe like a clothesline type string around his neck and the bruising where that is. There's a lot of things you don't see. He has no eyes, just empty sockets. You can see where maggots or rats or something has chewed away his lips. In fact, you can see several spots where something has chewed through the clothing and gnawed into the flesh. You can also see something cut off his hand. Sand roll. Just need it from Paul, because right now only Paul sees it.
Yeah.
All right, give you a /R 1d3. It's a lot better than the 2d6 if you'd failed it. All right, just drop one sand. So out of curiosity, how is it that Paul sees what I just described, this rodent-eaten body with no eyes, chewed off lips, and a missing hand, and only loses one sand?
So I think like as I'm like opening, and like Shirley is on the side where I'm opening the door towards. So like as I'm like saying, I'm really glad that worked, and like I make eye contact with the body as I say worked, and just shriek.
What?
Like a prolonged, like 5 whole seconds long scream, and just the catharsis of doing that. Like I kind of like shock myself out of my body for a second, so I'm not even really absorbing it past the initial viewing.
And Shirley will absolutely rush forward. What's going on?
What's happening?
I'm out the room now.
Oh, okay. So you're going to work out the room. And Shirley, you going to the closet?
Yeah, stopping dead in front of the closet.
Okay. So I need a sand roll from you as well, please.
Ooh, so close. So close.
1d3.
/R.
/R space 1d3.
Ooh.
Drop 3 for me. That's your first sand loss. What's your daily?
It is 13.
Okay. So you're down to 10. You got 10 left on your daily sand.
She will look back and she'll just go, "Oh God. Oh dear God.
What's
nobody
happening?
Else, Julie, just no. And she'll close the door. And then she will storm out. Roger, you asshole!
Paul? What's,
oh my God!
What's wrong?
He killed someone. Roger killed somebody.
In my glance of the body, could she's seen a couple dead things before? Would she know if this died like yesterday or like 3 weeks ago?
You can give me a science class or a nature roll, whichever's better.
Okay. I mean, I don't think she would know like the specifics, like CSI, but I did not hit that one.
Yeah, the shock was just too much.
Ugh.
The shock was too much. Now I will tell you, because this wouldn't have needed a roll. The fact that it smelled the way it did, this has not been here for a year, right?
Yeah.
So if the fact that it still smells, that there's still flesh on it, tells you that it's, it's been, days and weeks, not months and years.
Right. We've got to call the police, right?
Yes.
Right, Paul?
We need to get out of the house.
Well, we're
Roger's
locked in.
Roger's at the top of the steps. What'd you find?
Roger, what the hell, man?
Shirley advances on him. She is walking straight towards him, just as mad as she can be.
I need a notice stuff roll.
Okay.
He's trying to hide it, but he doesn't do well enough. He's trying to hide it in his right hand behind his right thigh. He has got a huge kitchen knife in his
She'll
right hand.
she'll back up. Roger, what is going on here? This
Nothing.
isn't funny.
I'm not laughing.
Yeah, we aren't either. We gotta call the cops, Roger.
You guys are staying here all night. That's the dare.
You didn't say anything about dead bodies, Roger.
Nobody asked.
Well, why would we ask about dead bodies? And ghosts?
Roger, where's my book? I'm done. I want to go home.
Nobody's going home. Not till the morning. All of you are staying here.
Julia want to look at her Swatch watch to see what time it is.
It's about 11:30. Now, do you
What
have the
is the
little
matter
rubber
with you?
band like thing that
Yes.
protects the face of it? Okay.
Yes.
So about an hour has passed.
What is wrong with you?
Did you kill this guy?
No.
Roger, why didn't you call the police when you saw this the first time?
Oh, no. Bodies are kind of cool.
Right, but that could be like somebody's brother or dad or something.
It's probably some bum that was just sleeping here.
That is so messed up.
You're such a jerk.
This isn't funny. Charles sits down.
Yeah.
There's got to be other doors, right? We can go out the back.
Nope,
Go through
they're
one.
all locked. But you know what, Paul? I mean, if you want to come with me, I can show you something cool.
No, thank you.
How about you, Chuck? You want to see something cool?
Leave me alone.
Are you a chicken, Shirley? Or
I
can I
want
show
you
you
to-
something cool?
I want you to put that knife down.
So he's a little startled. You saying
have a
that? 'Cause I
knife?
think he thought he was being clever,
Right.
and he pulls the knife out, and he's not waving it around or anything, but no longer trying to hide it.
I'm not going anywhere with you as long as you've got that knife.
Oh my god.
Okay, you can stay up here, you big chicken. I know Julia's
Um,
too chicken, so I'm not even going to ask you.
Can I use my bossy to try to get him to put down the knife?
Talk to me how we're going to do it first.
Okay,
Figure out
okay.
if there's a role.
Julie want to kind of walk halfway there, not close because he does have a knife, and say, "Listen, we agreed to stay until morning. I need you to put down the knife. There's no reason for you to have it. Like you said, you're bigger and stronger than all of us. This is stupid. Put it away."
So tell me if this is right.
Mhm.
I suspect that Julia may have confronted Roger before
Oh, yeah.
like this, right? You know, so even though he bullies you, I would imagine there were times with your status at the school where you would have confronted him like this before. So you remember that. You remember a time where you kind of got in his face like this a little bit, even though you're not literally in his face
Yeah.
now. And there's something different going on here, because would you have done that in the past, Julia? You could see the hesitancy, the shock, and a little taste of fear in his eyes. So even though he wouldn't show it, you could tell that if anybody was going to ever be able to stand up to Roger, it's you. And that you know he's a little scared of you and has always been a little scared of you. He doesn't have that look in his eye now at all. And
Horrifying.
kind of like looking for that reaction, and him being so close to one of the candles is when you notice for the first time that part of the skin on his cheek is peeling away. Let's go to credits. We'll be right back. So we gotta pick on the new guy first. So Kevin, so this is your first. Now you have obviously watched us play before.
Right.
I don't know. Did you have fun? What did you like?
It was a lot of fun. The group is really great to work with. They make you feel comfortable. Um, the story's interesting. I think there are going to be some twists and turns here.
So I'm always curious, not necessarily what Charles thinks is going on, but I'm very curious what the player does. So Kevin, what are your thoughts from a player meta standpoint right now? What do you think's going on?
Something's up with Roger. He isn't who he seems to be, even if that might not even be Roger.
Mm.
And I think one of the things it's going to cause Charles a lot of problems because he has some things in his past, and Charles knows that death is there, and that it's something that whether you see it or not, it's something you live with every day. And I think that's going to cause Charles some anguish. He's not as brave about seeing dead bodies as he was when he first walked into the house.
So same question for you, Shadika. Not worried about Julia. Though I am worried about Julia. What do you think's going on?
Kind of the parrot Kevin. I feel like Roger isn't Roger. Maybe something is taking him over. Maybe he died in the house. Maybe he actually does live here. But something's just off. And I don't know what it is.
So DZ, this is the first time it was the first time on the stream you've played a non-Android, right? Because you play an Android in the Star Wars game, and then of course in the probably the most popular series that we've ever done on the stream, our Mothership run. I'm very interested to know for you, DZ, what is it like having an 11-year-old character?
I don't know. I didn't feel like overly prepared for it. I mean, I love like E.T. is probably my favorite of like the source material that you'd look at. I didn't watch like Goonies as much as a kid, but so I rolled up the prankster archetype, but like almost immediately when we started playing, I was playing more of like a scaredy cat or a germaphobe. And I'll see, like I was trying to pull it more towards prankster a couple times, but we'll see what it progresses into. But that was just what felt most natural to me, so I was just sticking with it.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer. It takes at least a session, if not 2 sessions, to figure the character out. You can come into a session thinking, with a huge backstory and this is who this character is, and it never survives play.
Well, the backstory is still there, but like,
right.
But how he's actually behaving, and plus we already have a couple like bossy pants and braver characters, so there needs to be a foil for that too. So I'm happy to balance that out.
So, Maeve, I want you to start off. This is something that I've been trying to do more and more on my streams. It's something I got from Sean Kelly of Gaming and BS, and it's not his idea, but he's the one that brought it to my attention. It's the idea of stars and wishes. So, what I'd like you to do is give somebody a star. Of the other three players, who do you want to give a star to, and for what reason?
I'm gonna give it to Kevin because he jumped right in. I kind of love how he's playing this very soft, and I don't think like at first I was kind of like, well, is he just like holding back? And then I realized like this is the character, and
Mm.
I really appreciated that. So he gets the star.
Thank you.
And as a player, what are you wishing for next session? Not as a character,
Mm.
as a player.
As a player, I'm like, okay, so Shirley just kind of like jumped out fully formed again, like happens with some of my characters, certain halfling bards. um, and I'm really just like very interested in seeing because she's already sort of like set herself up as the leader of this group. I'm really curious to see how she's going to handle it as things start to come unraveled.
So, what's your wish? What are you wishing for?
Um,
What do you hope will happen in the next episode?
I really hope we all survive.
That's a legitimate wish.
That is a wish, is that we can all survive.
All right, and all right. So, how about for you, Kevin? Stars and a wish. So, who gets the star?
Yeah, I think I'm going to give the star to Shirley. um, because I love the character, and it's somebody that Charles would look up to and just kind of follow along. When I first found out that there was going to be the book of all things, the guidebook of everything, that's somebody that Charles would just be absolutely amazed with, and I think you really pulled the character off.
Thank you.
And how about your wish, Kevin? What are you wishing? What would you like to see in episode 2, or what would you like to see happen? And this is again as a player, right? What are you wishing for?
I want to figure out what's going on with Roger. Something's up. Something was up when we went into Doris's room. Um, Something was up with the fire. I couldn't quite figure out, what that's all about. But he had something to do with it, whether it was Roger, the person from 6th grade, or another version of Roger. And also the cat. What's up with the cat?
All right, DZ, your turn. Stars and wishes.
Maybe a star for Julie. With the reaction to the grandmother. She got the two first actual like spooks of the game right in a row, and being able to like react to that, but also not go straight to a 10 because we have however many sessions to go. But yeah, that was a good moment. And for a wish, no, I don't know if I want and I have no idea how long this campaign will end up being. So I don't know like how many seconds the setup of all of like the different mysteries is going to be. So I don't know if I want any answers yet next session, or just more mounting questions. I definitely hope we get split up at some point.
So what are the questions for you right now, DZ?
It's mostly what's going on with the house and what's going on with Roger.
Yeah.
So I suspect it's a hungry house scenario where it just kind of gobbles people up, and then uses the remnants of their like personalities and stuff in order to like lure more people in. That's my guess. A Haunting of Hill House scenario, but we'll see. And I suspect Roger is a manifestation of the house drawing more people in.
How about for you, Shadika? Stars and wishes.
I actually want to give my star to Paul, simply because as a prankster archetype, I thought he'll be a lot different
Mm.
and I really appreciate where it's not at.
I'm worried about like being mean, so that's why I've been pulling it back.
Mhm, mhm. But yeah, I genuinely like his character, and I like the quick, witty comments that he has about Roger, which is also great. Because it's like I know you're scared of him, but you're like, oh, here's this joke though. So that's
Gotta push his
amazing.
buttons.
All right. How about wishes for you, Shanika? What are you wishing for next session?
For next session, maybe this is like maybe a few sessions too far ahead, but I want to see them go into the basement
Mm.
because that is normally when stuff gets
Basement's fine.
a
The
bit
basement's
more.
fine.
Maybe the keys in the basement.
There's
All
no
right.
key.
So I always have a random question generator for my guests. So give me just a second. Let me see what it comes up with. All right. This is for you, Maeve. The question I have, completely random, is if I was interested in a PBTA game that was borderline noir superheroes, and I wanted to figure out where I could maybe see an actual play of it. Do you have any idea where I
Oh,
might go to see that?
This
this
is
is
so
random.
random. This is the weirdest coincidence. I happen to have a stream about a superhero slash noir slash urban fantasy game. You can find it on my YouTube, Foxtail Games, or you can find it on Twitch every other Sunday at MX Mave. We play City of Mist. It is a fantastic game. And we have the Nick Westbrook with us. So
Yeah, and Kyle
please
Bodie
check it
from
out.
the Call it or Delta Green game.
Absolutely. And one of our cast members is also a cast member on this season on the Old Gods of Appalachia podcast.
Oh God, that's such a good podcast. Such a good podcast. All right. It was so great to see everybody in the chat. You guys, I feel like we're like friends, like we all just kind of get together and hang out for these
Mhm.
sessions. There's so many familiar faces and familiar names. So for those of you in the chat, I really appreciate it. And that your interaction and your energy definitely affects us as we're playing. It definitely impacts me as a GM. The other things like subscribe, all that stuff. Have a Patreon, the podcast, yada, yada, yada. But I'm looking forward to session 2.
Same.
All right.
Great job as always, Craig.
Oh,
Yeah,
appreciate it, man.
fantastic.
Take care. Howdy, friends. Thank you for watching. All our content is archived and organized in playlists on the Third Floor Wars YouTube channel. Check it out. And if you could like, follow, subscribe, and even set your notifications to this channel on YouTube and Twitch, we'd appreciate it, and it'll make sure that you catch all of our content. I talk with creators, designers, and experts across the gaming landscape in every episode of our podcast, Tabletop Talk. Open up your favorite podcatcher and search for Tabletop Talk from Third Floor Wars. Support your creators. They make the content you love, and it's your support that makes it happen. If you want to help us, go to Third Floor Wars on patreon.com, and you can help us for as little as $1 a month. Thanks again. We'll see you next time. Take care.